Okay, so this is going to be a mind dump video. Usually with my mind dump videos, I'll just record everything I'm thinking, everything that's on my mind that's clouding my brain, and I usually end up deleting the videos shortly afterwards because they can get really personal, you know, and sometimes you reveal too much. But with this one, I wanted to talk about like a specific topic, so I'm definitely keeping this one up for sure. And this one is going to be like a mind dump about the twin flame journey that a lot of my subscribers are familiar with because I made a video about it before that I took down, and I will explain why I took it down in this video. So basically, yeah, this is a mind dump, just getting everything off my mind, just spilling it out onto the camera. Okay, so before I talk about the twin flame journey, I wanted to mention something that I noticed that I feel like it's worth mentioning because it was kind of like an epiphany, like a revelation. I noticed that like whenever I have a task to get done that I can possibly fail at, that like things could possibly go wrong, or like a video where I could possibly be triggered, like that I have to talk about some type of trauma, I always end up getting into like an argument or a fight on Twitter. Like, does anybody else resonate or relate to that? Like, whenever you have something important to do, or like something that you know just probably won't be fun, that's gonna elicit some type of emotional response, do you like look for drama, or like do you look for things to distract you? Not even purposely. Like, I just now realized this because earlier somebody said something really minute and stupid on Twitter, and I just like lashed out. Not really lashed out, but you know, I responded. And you know, when that happens, people always message me like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry, these trolls, like, I'm so sorry they get under your skin. And I'm just like, yeah, no, they don't really get under my skin. So then I had to really ask myself, like, if they don't get under your skin, then why do you even respond to them? Because like, as I'm responding, I literally, and I'm like a very emotionally charged person, so I'm very sensitive. But for some reason, when it comes to like internet trolls, like negativity on the internet, I don't flinch, and like I don't have an emotional response. So like when I'm responding, I'm just like responding. So I'm just like, if it doesn't touch you in a way, then what's the point of responding? And then that's when I realized, like, oh yeah, you had that video to film that you were kind of dreading filming, the one that's going to be a little bit emotional. Like, I don't know, let me know if that resonates with anybody else. I swear it's like some type of mind thing that your subconscious brain does when you have some type of fear of failure, or like a fear of being triggered. Like, you look for drama where there is none. I don't know, that's like an epiphany I had earlier. Let me know if you can relate. Now on to the twin flame journey. Now, I took down my twin flame video because when I put it up, I didn't like the energy that I was getting from the messages that I got that followed. Like, a lot of people who are on their twin flame journey were asking me questions, sorry. And I was just like, okay, it seemed a bit unhealthy, right? Like, I'm not bashing anybody that's in the twin flame community at all, because I'm talking about myself too. But I think there is something really wrong with constantly like checking the Divine Masculine's tarot card readings, like constantly checking like twin flame readings on YouTube, constantly like obsessing with what the Divine Masculine is doing. And it's like the Divine Masculine views get so many more views than the Divine Feminine views. So it's just like, so the Divine Feminines, it looks like they are watching the Divine Masculine's videos, but not watching the Divine Feminine's videos to see what's going on within us. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know about the twin flame journey, who's just like, what are you even talking about? Pretty much the easiest way I can explain what a twin flame is, it's like when you're born, it's like your twin flame is like your other half, all right? Like yin and yang, okay? It's like masculine energy and feminine energy divided up into two people, and you have like pretty much the same soul blueprint, you could say. Yeah, you pretty much share a soul, but it's not like you're both half of a soul and you need to come together to be one. You're both still a full soul. You just have like the same, look at it as like identical twins. With fraternal twins, it's like two separate eggs that are fertilized, but with identical twins, it's like one egg, but then it splits, right? So you share DNA, but you're not like one half of a person. You're still two whole people, but you just share DNA. It's kind of like that with your twin flame. Like I said, it's split into divine masculine and divine feminine energy. And the whole point of the twin flame journey is to heal your internal wounds, to integrate divine masculine and feminine energy within yourself, to come into union within yourself, and then in turn, you can come into union with your twin flame, and then y'all can be either friends or lovers. I've heard a whole bunch of different scenarios with twin flames. It's not always romantic. What I was saying is that, like, it seems like a lot of the divine feminines, they're a little bit too fixated on the divine masculine instead of doing the work and healing. And I don't really like that. Like I said, I'm not judging. I'm not judging because, like, this was me as well. And I noticed that it was a problem. Because I'm just like, how can you do the healing work if you're so concerned about what he's doing and checking his readings every day and trying to figure out what's going on with him and his karmic? And it's just like, I understand those channels on YouTube are meant to help, I guess, or like to kind of ease your mind, but in a way I feel like they hinder you because they keep you stuck in like that codependent devil energy. And that's why I took my video down, because when people were messaging me, they were just kind of like, oh, are you going to keep on doing videos? Like, are you going to do updates? And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do updates. I'm not going to do videos, because it's almost like people are looking for a reason or a way to hold on to the attachment, and you're not supposed to. Like, you're not supposed to. The attachment, the reason attachment is so heavy in the first place is, well, one, you two share a soul, but two, that attachment has to be heavy to bring out your shadow side, to trigger your shadow side, you know what I'm saying? And once that shadow side comes to the surface, you need to turn your attention off of your twin flame and turn it onto yourself and come into union within yourself, like become whole within yourself. And then eventually your twin flame will just come around, but it's like people are missing it, or they're just kind of like, and like I said, I'm not judging, because I was doing this too. I had to like break myself out of this. Even to the point where I've had divine feminines like message me and be like, basically saying there's nothing wrong with me, it's just him. And I'm just like, are you sure about that? Like that doesn't sound right. Because if you have a twin flame and you're 100% completely like healed, y'all mirror each other. So how is it that he's broken and he's this and that, but then you're perfectly fine? But in the same breath, these women are saying like, I feel like I can't live without him. And I'm just like, see, no, that means that you're not whole. So you can't say in one breath, like, there's nothing wrong with me, and then in the next sentence, basically say that you feel like you're going to die without him. You know what I'm saying? That's fear of abandonment. That's abandonment issues. That's codependency issues. Like, and like I said, there's no judgment for me, because Lord knows I had a sick obsession with my twin flame, as I should, because that brought out all of my shadow side, which I am extremely grateful for. Now, a lot of people were asking me too, like, how do you know when somebody is your twin flame? And I can't really answer that, because it's just kind of like an internal knowing, but also God kind of gave me the signs and led me to it. Okay, it's the weirdest thing. The way it happened was so weird. So, you know, I have a video. The first video on my channel is my narcissistic abuse video, and in that video I talk about the narcissist, and for the longest time I thought the narcissist was my twin flame, for the longest time. But what's crazy is that, you see, God had my back on this one, okay? What's crazy is that I never actually pursued my narcissist. Like, I never was on a twin flame journey with him. I was never watching readings about him. I never was in pursuit. It's like, once I figured out he was a narcissist, I was just like, oh yeah, no, that's not gonna, nothing's happening there. So I was never chasing him. And that's the weird part, because, you know, I thought that I had got off easy. Oh my God. I thought, because I saw all this stuff in the twin flame community, like, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with my twin flame. Oh my God, I want to be with him. I was like, oh, I got off easy, huh? Because I knew I couldn't be with him, and I didn't want to be with him. All I wanted to do was to break that attachment. So when I finally detached from him, I was just like, yes, like I could still feel his energy. I could still pick up on him, like telepathically, but I didn't have any emotional ties to him. Like, he got a new girlfriend, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, I hope that he's not like abusing her. You know, I hope that he's actually treating her well, you know? Like, hopefully that narcissism left his body. I don't know how possible that is, but, you know, hopefully, you know, here's hoping. And people were, you know, I was saying how, like, I'm actually happy that he has a girlfriend, so he can't go around like abusing random people, you know? And people were just like, oh my God, how are you happy that your twin flame has a girlfriend? Like, how do you do this? Like, how do you detach from your twin flame? And I was just like, oh, it's easy. No. Like, I thought it was easy because I thought he was my twin flame. So I was just like, oh, you just, you know, focus on you, detach from him. Like, I was like giving all the tips, like thinking I know. I didn't know. He was my false twin flame. But this is the gag. I did not know he was my false twin flame, okay? I thought he was my twin flame up until this December that just passed. December 2017. Now, let's rewind a little bit. In August of 2017, I got into a relationship. I kind of just saw him as a soulmate. I was just like, oh my God, like, I have like a strong pull towards this guy, you know? So I sort of seen him as just like a soulmate. And I was like scared shitless of him, okay? Like, oh my God. I don't know how to even explain it. I knew I was in love with him, and that scared me because we were just friends and he was showing no signs of being in love with me. So I was very paranoid, very jealous, very just not here for it, because I thought it was a one-sided situation. But then, you know, once I admitted to him that I loved him and I told him I'm going to back off because I feel like the feelings aren't mutual, that's when he admitted that he loves me too. You know, very exciting stuff, very exciting happenings. But the minute that he told me that he loved me too, I had a full-on panic attack. Yeah, a full-on panic attack. And that night was actually a full moon, now that I think about it. And we were very extremely happy for the first like 2 weeks. And then his ex popped up into the picture. I'm not going to get too much into that because I don't even like to think about it or talk about it. It's the most annoying shit that has ever happened to me in my life. But yeah, his ex popped up in the picture, and it became quite clear that he got all indecisive about like who he really wanted to be with. Like, you know, and at this time I was like really pushing him away. I was like inconsistent in and out of his life. It was just out of fear because I could feel energetically that he was still tied to her, and I could feel that she had devil energy. And I didn't like it at all. And I'm just like, yeah, this woman has like a hold on you. And she's a narcissist. You'll see as the story goes on. He struggles with codependency just like I do. So I had a codependent tied to him. He had a codependent tied to his ex. And because I'm so well versed in codependency, I know how this goes. So I knew that his pull towards her was a million times stronger than his pull towards me, okay? And so I was inconsistent in and out of his life because I just knew I was fighting a losing battle. But I felt like I couldn't stay away. I couldn't break our bond or our connection because it was so strong. And I became like obsessed with him, like most people become with their twin flames. And at this time though, I still thought the narcissist, the other guy, was my twin flame. I had no clue that this man was my twin flame. No clue. So come December, he pretty much ghosted me and went to go and pursue his ex. And that's the thing though. He didn't ghost me. I pretty much told him I want nothing to do with him ever again. But you know, I didn't mean that. Like, that doesn't mean actually that you leave. That means you fight for me. You know what I'm saying? I know, childish. Pretty much what he did was try to be sneaky, and like when we cut ties, he tried to like get back with his ex or like pursue his ex and not have me find out, to like try to keep it off of the internet and have me blocked on everything so I can't communicate with him. And it was just very sneaky, and it was wrong. Like, it was wrong. And then I went and got a tarot card reading, and my reader even told me like, yeah, the reason that he was like half-assing your relationship is because he was putting energy and effort over there. So he was going behind my back and putting energy and effort into her and not basically letting me know that that's what he was doing. He was lying to me and telling me that like, no, I want nothing to do with her, making it seem like I was like delusional and crazy, like as if my psychic intuition wasn't telling me what was going on. I told him, stop playing with me. Like, I'm a psychic. Stop playing with me. I bet he knows now. I bet he knows now. But I pretty much figured out exactly what was going on. And it was like so sickening to me because he just was a liar and a scallywag. And I could not get in touch with him because he blocked me on everything. And I flipped out. Oh my God. I made like a new Facebook account. And I've never cursed somebody out the way I cursed him out. Okay? Ever. Oh my God. Like, I let him have it. I was having like a serious like breakdown. It triggered so many dark memories in me that I did not even know existed. Like, triggered everything. Like, everything was coming to the surface. I felt like I was dying. And like, my sister came home from college and I just kind of like collapsed into her arms when she got here. Like, thank God she came the next day after that happened, because I don't know if I would survive that, honestly. Too much triggering, too much trauma. Yeah, after that I was just like, all right, I'm done with him. Like, he's disgusting, okay? And then as soon as I said that, and as soon as I was about to really walk away and be like, all right, I'm done, that's when God kind of steered me in the direction of this video that pretty much confirmed that he's my twin flame. And When I say God steered me, I mean, like, I had no inkling, no clue the whole time we were together. The minute I found out he was doing all that behind my back in December, I was just like, yo, we're done. We're done. Nope, you're good. That's when I found out he's my twin flame. And I was so highly pissed because I really thought that I had gotten off easy. I thought that my twin flame was the narcissist. And I thought that, like, I had broken that connection. And then I realized, like, oh my God, this man's my twin flame. And it just, like, devastated me because I had such he had such a strong hold on me energetically. I finally understood, like, all the people in the twin flame community who are just like, I can't let go of my twin flame, oh my God, I can't break this connection. And I just, like, went to a panic. I remember I just, like, went in the bathroom and, like, cried because I was just like, oh my God, like, I did not want to be on this journey. I did not. I really thought I had, like, skipped it and got off easy. So at this point, this is when I realized that I was in the typical twin flame situation of my divine masculine left me to be with his karmic relationship. And people who don't know what a karmic relationship is, it's like a relationship in which you learn like life lessons. Like, if any shadow side has to come out to be healed, your karmic partner will trigger that in you. Usually your karmic partner is extremely abusive. It's a long story, but karmic relationships are usually pretty abusive, and they're here for your soul growth. You don't usually end up being in a life partnership with your karmic partner. So that was his karmic partner. And he went back to go and, like, pursue her. But you know what's weird? Okay, people ask me, like, you know, how do you really know, though? How do you know that's your twin flame? Do you guys share a birthday? Do you guys share this and that? And I'm just like, yeah, no. Like, my false twin flame, the narcissist, like the one I thought was my twin flame, we shared a birthday. We shared the same food allergies. We looked alike. We sounded alike. Like, we had so many superficial similarities. I was just like, this has to be my twin flame. No. With your twin flame, which is crazy because I just came across a video that explained this so perfectly and everything just clicked and made sense. With your twin flame, you'll have, like, real life synchronicities. Not like same birthday, same this, same that. It'll be things, like, from your life that you just look back on like, oh my God, like, that makes so much sense. Okay, for example, before I met my twin flame, right, I had an obsession with this movie. An obsession with this one movie. I'm not going to tell you which movie it is. But I would watch it all the time. My sister was like, why are you so obsessed with that movie? Like, what's so good about that movie? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just so good. I was watching it every single day. I went back and watched that movie recently. The main character has the same name as my twin flame. The same name. When I think back on anything that I have ever been obsessed with in life, and I go back and rewatch that thing or re-listen to that song, it's connected to my twin flame somehow. This is before I even met this man, okay? So it's like, it's not a coincidence. It was even one point in time where I was working for my stepdad, and he wanted to move to a different city and move his company to a different city. So I was supposed to move, and the city I was supposed to move to is my twin flame's birth city. And it's not like New York or somewhere where you're just like, okay, yeah, that's, of course you moved there to do business. It was just like some place I was just like, why would you want to move there to start a business there? That's so random. You see what I'm saying? And it ended up being my twin flame's hometown. And then I went to a preacher, well, she's like a priest, and she basically read my future, or like told me my future, and she told me that my future is in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, my destiny waits for me in Atlanta. And I was just like, oh, nice. So I tweeted about it like, y'all, this preacher said I'm gonna get rich in Atlanta. Like, I was all hype. And then this is before I met my twin flame, yo. This is before I met my twin flame. And he lives in Atlanta currently. And I went back to that tweet, like, recently, and I noticed the timestamp on it was 11/11, which is the twin flame number. Back then, I knew nothing about twin flames. I knew nothing about numerology. It was not intentional. It just so happens. I'm going to actually post a picture so y'all can see. Like, I'm not making this up. And then, like, everything started to click and make sense, yo. Like, the real life synchronicities was crazy. Like, okay, for example, I have always been obsessed with twins. Like, I've always wanted twins for some reason. I've always wanted to be a twin, and I've always wanted to have twins, okay? And I actually have a twin sister who we met when we were 11 years old, but you can't tell us that we're not twins. Like, we literally are twins. Like, when we met in summer camp, and people would get us confused because we looked alike. And so we just started saying, like, oh, we're twins. And it kind of just stuck. And we, like, whenever I say I have a twin sister, if you hook me up to a lie detector test and, like, do you actually have a twin sister, and I say yes, it would come out true, because we really do believe that we are actually twins. And she's a Scorpio, and my twin flame has a Scorpio moon, and I have a Scorpio in my 7th house, which is my house of relationships. Like, are all these things a coincidence? I don't think so. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you will see real life synchronicities. It won't be just, oh, we have the same birthday, we have the same this. It's like you'll look back on your whole entire life and it'll be like, oh my God, like all the pieces just fit together. Like, y'all have been preparing for each other your whole life almost. And then on top of that, when he went back to his karmic, I got told something through my spiritual intuition and guidance that she was holding him hostage or holding her connected to him with a lie. And I'm not going to say what the lie is because it's horrible. I don't want to repeat it. It's his business. So I don't want to put it out there, but just know that she is a horrible person for doing this to someone. And she's a narcissist, so it makes sense. And let's just say that the lie involves twins. So, coincidentally, my twin flame was held captive by a lie about twins. Whenever I would be like, yo, I'm off this journey, I'm sick and tired of him, I want nothing to do with him, and like I'll wake up the next day, and I'll wake up at 9/22, which is his birthday, September the 22nd. I'll wake up exactly at 9/22. It was to a point where I was so adamant on, like, I don't want nothing to do with him. I was seeing his name and his birthday everywhere. Like, my goddad was like, can you file some paperwork for him? I'm like, oh, sure. And this was like in January. And the paperwork that he wanted to file for me, they were all dated with my twin flame's birthday, September the 22nd. And I was just like, what is this? Like, what is this? And it was just ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. But pretty much what I got from this journey was that I have deep-rooted codependency issues. I had suppressed memories that he unlocked when he took off to go and try to be with his ex. Like, it brought out a really, really dark side of me. Oh my God. Like, this man has seen the darkest depths of my soul, I swear to God. And I've also seen his. I have a boyfriend right now. I'm in a healthy relationship right now. And if I had met my boyfriend a year ago, I probably would have overlooked him. For sure. Because I was still battling very deep-seated codependency issues to where I was only attracted to emotionally unavailable men. And I was just attracted to toxic relationships still. But because my twin triggered so much in me, and because I went through a spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, Kundalini awakening, I can do a whole nother video on that. I went through all of that, and a lot of healing was done without me having to do much. Like, my soul was being, like, worked on, like, when I was in the dark night of the soul. Which is crazy because, like, at the beginning of last year, I did pray, like, God, please help me, like, cure my codependency. And I kind of, like, in my head, I was just like, and do it quickly, please. Like, I want to get this out of me. I guess the fastest way to get it out of you is for you to purge it all at one time. And I pretty much got what I asked for. So, you know, be careful what you pray for. Yeah, my Kundalini awakening was so wild because I had my first premonition, which came true. God, it was wild. I can do a whole another video on that. But my Kundalini awakening, like, my whole body felt like it was on fire. Like, if you've had your Kundalini awakening, please comment in the comment section below and tell me, like, what you experienced. Because I remember years ago, I watched a video on Kundalini awakening, and I was just like, I would never do this. I would never awaken this. Because people were trying to purposely have a Kundalini awakening by doing certain types of yoga. And I remember thinking, how stupid could you be to try to, like, to try to play with something like that. And I was just, like, vowed to myself that I would never have a Kundalini awakening. Never. And then it happened by accident. Like, my twin flame, like, basically caused my Kundalini awakening. And it felt like my whole body was on fire. My spine, just think about it right now, my spine's starting to hurt. My spine was on fire. And I've always had back problems, by the way, which, from what I've read about the Kundalini awakening, other people were saying that that's true for them too, that they've always had, like, kind of problems with their spine. But yeah, my back, everything was on fire. I woke up in the middle of the night. I had to take my clothes off because my whole body was on fire. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? It was crazy. And then the next day I woke up, and you can ask, well, you can't ask my family because you don't know them, but my family saw, like, the next day I was perfectly fine. Like, I had, like, a meltdown, and the next day I was perfectly fine. So that spiritual awakening took place, and then shortly after that I met my boyfriend, and he is just so, oh my God, he is so, like, loving, so caring, so emotionally expressive. And like I said, had I met him last year, I would have never been able to appreciate him. Never. Like, I would have never seen the value in him. And I only see the value in him because of what my twin flame brought out of me. Hello?
Hello?
I'm filming, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, just call me when you're done.
Alright, love you.
Love you too.
Bye. Yeah, let me wrap this up. For anybody who's struggling on their twin flame journey, for anybody who's just like so fixated on their divine masculine and wanting to be with them, I get it. I understand, because I had an obsession with my divine masculine. And the only way to call your energy back is to stop feeding the devil energy. Like, stop watching readings for his tarot card. Like, tarot card readings about him, about the divine masculine, about his zodiac sign. Like, stop cross-watching readings about him. Like, just stop, because that is feeding devil energy. Because that is a product of being codependent. Okay? When somebody leaves you, or when somebody's not with you, and they show you, like, I don't want you, even if you know that's your twin flame, you know in the 5D, they really do want you. In the spiritual realm, y'all are in love. But in the 3D, if he's saying he doesn't want you, then you have to take it as he doesn't want you and go and heal your codependency. Like, that's the thing with, and I do tarot cards now. I might start actually incorporating readings, or like doing readings on my Instagram. I don't know yet. But I was doing a reading, I was meditating on this, and I pulled cards for this before I turned the camera on. And the cards was like, the High Priestess, the King of Pentacles. Like, when I pulled the High Priestess card, the first thing that came through my mind was like, someone who is always in the 5D, someone who's always like meditating, who's very much like in touch with the spirit realm, somebody who's in touch with like the divine and their intuition. And then with the King of Pentacles, I got, you know, somebody whose energy is more grounded, who is much more focused on the 3D and what's happening down here on earth. And the King of Pentacles is a card that tends to be drawn a lot in the divine masculine readings I see, because that's how most divine feminines see their divine masculines, as like men who are manifesting abundance in the material realm. So that's what like a lot of divine feminines see their divine masculine as. But I didn't read the energy as, oh, this is the divine feminine, this is the divine masculine, and then there's heartbreak in the middle. What I read was that the divine feminine needs to integrate that energy from the divine masculine within herself, to stop living life in the 5D, meditating, you know, watching tarot readings about him. It's time to like ground yourself and start manifesting abundance of your own. Like, whatever your divine masculine is doing, you need to be doing. Just like if he was on a journey, or if he was awake, he should be doing what you're doing. He should be meditating, and which my divine masculine does, by the way. He meditates every morning now. And when I first met him, he didn't know how to meditate. He was just like, well, can you teach me how? Like, you teach me about crystals? So it's like, you should be trying to integrate his energy into your energy field. And you don't do that by obsessing over him or chasing him. You do that by almost emulating that energy that you love about him. If you love that he's like a hard worker and he's on his grind and he's manifesting abundance, you have that ability as well, because y'all are the same. Y'all share soul. Y'all are pretty much the same person. And you need to integrate that energy within your own energy. And when you do that, you won't have time to obsess. You won't have time to be so fearful of, oh, what if he never comes back? What's going on with him and his karmic? Because that's irrelevant. You integrate that energy, that masculine energy, into your energy field, and inevitably, because he's your twin flame, he will start to integrate your feminine energy into his energy field. You see what I'm saying? And then like his heart will start to open, his third eye will start to open, his like view of life and spirituality will start to shift, because he's not in touch with his heart. And when you're not in touch with your heart, you're not in touch with God. Me and my boyfriend were just talking about this recently. Like, when people close their heart off, they pretty much close God out, because God is love. And if you close your heart off, you're closing love off. So your connection with God is completely thrown off. So that's why a lot of divine masculines are not even following their intuition and going to be with their divine feminines, because they're so closed off emotionally. They don't even receive the proper messages telling them, like, this is the woman for you, this is who you're supposed to be with. You see what I'm saying? So if you really want to be with your divine masculine, that's what you do. You integrate divine feminine and divine masculine energy within yourself. You come into union within yourself. And I'll attach like this chart that I found of divine feminine and divine masculine traits. And you got to come down from that spiritual high, from that 5D plane, and get down into 3D, because you can't manifest anything unless you're in the 3D. We came here to have a human experience for a reason. Like, if we were meant to be in the spirit realm all the time, we would have just stayed in the spirit realm. Like, we reincarnated here as humans with human bodies for a reason, so we can manifest what we want to manifest in our lives, you know? So you have to be grounded to do so. So start focusing on you, start focusing on your healing work, start focusing on your abundance, start focusing on the material world. Get more grounded and get in touch with the material world and focus on you. And inevitably, your divine masculine has no choice but to open his heart space to you and come towards you. Now, like I said, with my twin flame, we're a bit different. Because like I said, this twin flame journey is different for everybody. But I don't have a desire to be with him. Like, I feel like there's still an energetic connection. But I don't have a desire to be with him. Like, I'm happy in my relationship with my man. You know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like that works out too. Because I feel like now I can come to YouTube and talk about the twin flame journey from a place of not being biased and not from an emotionally charged place, so I can help direct people in the right direction toward union, you know? I don't know. That's pretty much the message that I got from all this. But yeah, my camera's about to die, so I have to shut this down. But I hope this helped seriously. I'm going to be starting a whole codependent channel, like a channel about codependency, so that should definitely help any divine feminines who are struggling with codependency, who want to come into union, and who want to heal that codependency. That should help, so be on the lookout for that. And share your twin flame stories down below. I'm sure we were all interested in them, because some of the ones I've heard are so crazy and so interesting. Okay, yeah, this battery light's beeping at me. So make sure you, like I said, share your stories down below. Subscribe if you have not already. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.